Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It is your girl Ebony Renee. Renee. You can call me Ebony or you can call me E. Whatever, up to you, baby, because it's fine by me, okay? Just keep it respectful and keep it cute, because I don't want to have to put your ass on mute. Bars. But today we're gonna talk. We're gonna have a little chat, little heart to heart, and we just kind of gonna let it flow, you know. This is gonna be kind of like an update video, like where I've been, why I've taken a hiatus. I feel like it's time for me to just, you know, tell y'all what's going on. So fast forward back to December. My mom and I got sick. My mom got sick first. She was like, she thought it was just the flu. And then I started kind of getting like this tingly feeling in my throat, and I'm like, okay, I'm not feeling good, so I called out to work. So like December 24th is when I got sick. I was so sick to the point that I was so weak I could not physically move, like get up or anything. Like it got so bad on actual Christmas Day that I called the nurses hotline, like, you know what, I really think I need to call 911 and go to the emergency room. Something's just not right. My head was on fire. I was too weak. My hips hurt. I felt like I got ran over by an 18-wheeler. It was just a lot going on. I couldn't sleep in a bed. I had to sleep on the floor because I had to sleep on something hard to support me because I was in so much physical pain. And I slept every day, all day. I did not eat for 2 weeks. I lost so much weight in the 2 weeks. Mind you, this whole time, I'm not gonna say I wasn't worried, but I wasn't observative of what was going on with my mom. She's the same way, but you know, I had asked her, like, do you think you have COVID? And she's like, oh no, I think it's just the flu. Again, it was no way for me to take her anywhere. She doesn't drive, I'm the only one to drive. So at that time, my sperm donor was living with us. And he's like one of those reckless people who just feels like he not gonna get COVID and this, that, and the third. Lo and behold, he exposed us to COVID. So my mom and I, we started getting better, but then I kind of noticed my mom kind of like being like not herself to a certain degree. Like she was still herself as far as like talking to me and things like that, but like we would be on FaceTime, because I would FaceTime her from my room because I was quarantined. Because when I called the nurses hotline, they were like, oh, this sounds like things of COVID, you just need to quarantine. And so I would just chat with her on the phone, and it was fine. It was fine, but like after our 2-week mark, I started kind of notice like she'll be FaceTiming me, right, and then she'll just lay the phone down, and then I would have to go physically check on her, like, Ma, you okay? And she's like, yeah, I'm fine. So fast forward to January 3rd. Wait, before we fast forward to that, my mom was because she couldn't eat, and because we just didn't have an appetite, everything tasted disgusting. We were not drinking water. When we tried to drink water, it was just disgusting. Like, and I love water, we love water, that's what we drink around here, but couldn't drink it. So she would have my sperm donor go and get like ginger ale, things of that stuff. She was drinking like a lot of sugary drinks. Mind you, backstory, she's diabetic and she has high blood pressure. So during this time, I wasn't really thinking anything of it, but it was causing more harm than it was causing good at that time. So fast forward to January 3rd, I'm no longer feeling, you know, bad. I'm feeling back myself. So I go to Walmart, I pick up all these things to sanitize the house, let up the windows, Still, my sperm donor is living here. I come back home and just something about my mom wasn't right. Like, she wasn't up talking, she's laying down, but then she's like repositioning herself as if she wasn't comfortable. And I was like, okay, Mom, Today, girl, I was like, girl, get up, because we about to get ourselves cute, we about to spruce up. And I said, I'm about to sanitize everything. And she kind of just looked up at me, but then she went back to, she laid back down. And immediately I knew something was wrong with my mama. I'm trying not to cry, but if I cry, it's okay, because we're gonna normalize crying on camera. If your emotions is flowing, this is a safe space, this is a safe place. Cry when you need to cry. Stop letting people tell you, oh, don't do that, that's weird. No, they're weird. And what it is they grew up in a household that probably didn't show them how to be emotional, a healthy emotion. They was taught to shut up, be tough. And it's like, no, we gonna let our emotions flow over here. So anyway, back to the story. So my mom, she is kind of like lethargic, but at the same time, I'm asking her a question. At this point, she's answering them. I'm like, so what's your name? What's my name? And then I'm like, nah, this not right. So I literally just got on the floor and I just started crying. And I was like, okay, Ebony, you got to get yourself together, because you have to take her to the hospital. So I called the nurse's hotline, and I'm trying to ask her. At this point, it's increasing. Whatever's going on with my mom, it's increasing. Because the next time I asked her, like, hey, what's your name? She looks at me and she does not say anything. And the nurse was like, you need to hang up immediately and call 911. I called 911. I let them know what was going on. They get there. They start speaking all these terms. It's just a lot going on. I'm overwhelmed. First off, before I even say that backstory, I go downstairs. My sperm donor, I think he was washing the dishes or something like that. And I was like, did you talk to my mama today? Because she's not acting like herself. Yeah, she was talking to me. She fine. So he go upstairs and he like kind of tap her on her thigh. Roz, you good? Yeah, she good. Like, motherfucker, no, she's not good. Are you dumb? Like, you've been knowing her for over 30 years and you trying to tell me that she's fine to you? Like, this is how she normally act. Like, get the fuck out of here. So I call 911. All these fire people here. She's not able to say anything at this point. She's kind of got her head down. Her blood sugar, y'all, was over 1,200. And I didn't have anybody to talk to at this moment, because me and my sperm donor don't have a good relationship at all. And so I'm calling like my auntie, I'm calling my cousin. My auntie's at work, my cousin's at work, but I text her, I'm like, hey, it's an emergency. So they eventually get my mom downstairs into the ambulance. And so they were like, well, we're gonna work on her and then we're gonna let you know what hospital we take her to. So I'm just kind of like outside. I called my best friend. She called me. And I just needed to be talked off a ledge, because baby, I was going through it. It's just always been me and my mom. Regardless of if my sperm donor was in the picture, it's always been me and my mom. And that's my girl. And you know, in that moment, I just, you know, I felt alone, because my mom's never been sick. Even though she has diabetes and she has high blood pressure, she takes care of that. She takes care of that stuff. But it's just during a period of us being sick, she wasn't able to manage it. So we finally get her to the hospital. When I walked in the room, it was just so much going on, like so much. And it was traumatizing, because I see my mama on his bed. And like, they're trying to find a vein. They can't find a vein. The damn fire truck people then blew all her veins out at this point, because they couldn't get a vein. They couldn't get any lab work because her blood sugar was so high. At this point, it was like 1,300. And her blood was like syrup. So I'm in there, I'm talking to her. She's kind of responding back to me, you know. And she kind of just like, she don't know what's going on, because at this point she's delusional. Her blood sugar was up. Her blood sugar was up. Her potassium levels was so high. It was like, you should never have your potassium that high. it got to a point where like you hear all these people talk about this is not good, this is not good, this is not good, and you feel like you can't help the person that you love. And you know, at the hospital due to COVID, you can't, it's only can be you. Like, it can only be that person and one more person. And it's like, even if I had somebody to just physically be there with me, I would have felt better. So I'm listening to them. They had to go in there, like, check her heart and stuff like that. But she was so lethargic, like she was just moving and swinging everywhere, Lord. She had the nurses going there like, Miss Bush. And I'm like, God bless her heart. So I'm just praying, and I was on the phone talking with people. Backstory, something traumatic happened to my mama when she was younger. And so like, it got to a point where they had to strap her down because she wouldn't stop moving. And it was so sad to hear her just be like, let me move, because I wanted to help her. And I couldn't. I could not help her, and I felt so helpless. And at that point, I was talking to my mama's younger sister. So it's a total of 12 of them, and my mama is the second to youngest. So they end up having to do a PICC line on my mama. And what that is just an IV. It goes through like an artery or something in your chest so that it can get the blood or whatever. So I had to wait in the lobby because that was like a 45-minute process of them doing it, and I couldn't be in the room. So I'm just crying. That 45 minutes felt like forever, and I could not do nothing. But I thank God for my village, because they kept me as calm as I could be. And the nurse came back, and they were like, okay. I heard them like do a sign of relief. The doctor was so nice, and he was like, okay, we finally got it. So they started running tests. Found out, they ended up doing a COVID test on her. Found out she had COVID. And the whole time I'm up there, my sperm donor never called my phone asking, like, you know, is my mom okay? Anything. And so, you know, the doctor came, because at first they were like, oh, she's septic. Well, she was septic. It was so much stuff going on. I'm thinking I'm going to be staying with my mom during this time, and I couldn't. At the hospital, she said they on a 21-day isolation, period, point blank. So it took everything in me, like, not to just have a meltdown when they told me I could not see my mama for 21 days. And so I was like, okay, I'm not going home. So I booked a hotel that was like literally across the street from the hospital. So if I need to go up there immediately, I'm going up there immediately. It was just so traumatic for me. So they get her in a room. It was, shout out to Dr. Roberts. He's such a sweetheart. He actually let me go in a room. I got to kiss my mama, you know. I got to tell her I love her. They really take care of my mama so good. She ended up having to be on dialysis because her kidneys got really damaged at that point. Her liver got damaged at that point. It was a lot going on. And then, like, the first night, me just calling to check on her because I needed to know what was going on. But I'm praying. I had to finally talk to the doctor, and they're like, oh, your mom is real sick. And that offended me because I'm like, I'm very big on affirmations and things, and like just what you speak out into existence and into the atmosphere. I don't play those games. So even when we are feeling down, We don't speak that. We speak the opposite of what's going on. But I get it. Like, they had to tell me what was going on from a medical standpoint. So over time, you know, the first couple days was really a waiting period, and just me praying, and just me just trying to stay sane. I let my job know it, that, hey, I'm not coming back to work right now. My mom's in the hospital with COVID, and you know, she's fighting, and I can't do no work. I was like, my mom comes before this job. My job appeared to be understanding. Then on what day was that? I really don't like to speak of it, but this is the truth. So January 7th, I'm always remember that day, at 7:36. I'm always remember the time. The nurses called me. No, a doctor called me. It was Dr. Roberts, and I knew it. My mom has, not at that point she hasn't, but like, he was like, Ebony, I said yes. He was like, I got some bad news. Immediately that stopped me in my tracks, because at this point, my sperm donor was out the house. He got kicked out. You're done, buddy. So I was in here cleaning up, had the windows up, letting all that virus and all that out of here. I mean, cleaned up everything. And he was like, I stopped. He was like, I got bad news. And he was like, I was like, what's going on? He was like, your mama coded. And I just froze. Time froze. I was outside. Cars are moving, but everything felt still. And so he was like, we got her back. She stopped breathing for 5 minutes, but we got her back. Mind you, this is the same day I went to go see my mama. I brought her flowers and I bought her a card, and she had waved at me, like, because she was up talking to the nurses and stuff like that, but she could not write. So she was trying to tell me something. The nurse she had that day had the IQ of a freaking grape. And so I called my auntie and I told them what that man told me. And I was like, you know, my auntie was like, no. But I was like, no, she's back. And I was like, I cannot be alone in this moment, in this space, and in this place. I cannot be alone. So I just drove to my auntie's house, and I lost it. God, I lost it because I did not want to lose my mom. Just to even speak that. But I knew it was not her time because she came back. I just knew it was not her time. I just lost it. So I only told my youngest auntie, one of my older aunties, and my cousin, who I'm real close with. And I told my best friend too. And I just prayed, and I just was just praying and praying for my mama. Because I love that lady. Lady loved me, and I know if Rose was reversed, she would be going to bat for me. So after that, after all that, I was able to go see her. And at this point, she was not on a ventilator before, but then she ended up getting put on a ventilator. I saw my mama, and my heart, it just was broke because they had her on all this stuff. They had her sedated. She on all these damn, you know, medicine, and like the nurses who take care of my mama, I thank God for them, and I pray over them every day. And I saw my mama through this class, and I just wanted to go in there and just hug her and tell her, Mama, I love you, and just pray over her. It was so many machines, and then she had the ventilator on, and it was just a lot. And it's so traumatic because I'm the only child, so I don't have siblings to go to. Like, yes, I consider like my cousin my sibling, but like she ain't come from my mama, you know what I'm saying? So in that moment, it's just like when the world go to sleep, I'm just up with my thoughts. So my anxiety really just took a hold of me in the moments, because it was like after that, every time they called me, I was scared. And I'm not gonna lie to you, like, you can say all day long you believe in God, but baby, or you can say all day long that you have faith, but when in those moments where you have to lean nothing but on it, ooh, it just takes your breath away, because you have to lean. But yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all how good God is, cause I forgot to tell y'all, God sent me an angel, like my own personal guardian angel, random man, the first day that they was moving her up to ICU. His name was Richard. I will always remember Richard. I was up there by myself, and the elevator door it rang. This man gets off, and he's like, I was on the phone with my auntie at this time, and he's like, ma'am, your charger is dangling on the floor. You know, I'm just all over the place. And I picked it up, and he came up to me, and he was like, do you need something? Let me call this number for you, because it's the phone number that you're supposed to call, and somebody's supposed to come out and assist you. And he was like, you know, he was like, I'm coming up here to visit a friend. I don't even think he came up there, but nobody was up there for who he said he was coming to visit. And he was like, you know, what's going on? Who are you up here with? And I was like, it's my mom. Like, you know, she's not feeling good right now, and you know, it's a lot going on. And he was like, can I pray for you? He like disappeared, came back, and he was like, Ebony, I want you to know that God told me your mama is good, and she's coming home, and she's healed. And like what that did for me in that moment, I can never explain, because I was so discouraged. And I'm 28. Like, for those who have lost their mom, or their mom have been ill, this is the first time my mom has ever been in a hospital for a long period of time. So all this is new to me. So that did something for my spirit. And then he had came back and said, I'm gonna pray for you too. And then he just disappeared. Like, I didn't even hear the elevator door open anymore. Mind you, this was a man who told me he was a recovering alcoholic, that his mom's name is the same as my mom's name, and he said that he had lost all his family, his mom, his dad, and his sister. So like, he literally has no family, but like, he does work around, like he goes and visit people who are like in the hospital and in nursing homes. But like, in that moment, I felt like, thank you, God, for sending somebody to comfort me during this time where I don't know and everything is uncertain. So moving forward from that scary day, things start turning around for my mom in like a positive way. Like, a lot of her organs had got hit, so she had ended up being on dialysis. That's one thing that my mom always said she never wants to be on. But a praise report, she's off dialysis. She was only on it for like 2 weeks, and they were saying that she was gonna have to be on it a month after she discharged. She's off of that. They said something, she had AFib, which is something with the heart, that healed on its own, and I thank God for it. Because one thing about it is I speak life into my mom, and I tell everybody that comes in contact with her, whether you're a doctor, nurse, whatever, we have prayer warriors. Our village is strong over here. So yeah. And like, she suffered a stroke, and right now she's in the process of moving her like hands and feet and stuff like that. She'll wake up, but like she don't really be fooling with the doctors because they be messing with her a lot. I'm not gonna go into too much other things because I'm gonna wait for her to tell the rest of her story. But like now she has some assistance with like a breathing machine, but it's a CPAP machine, but she breathes on her own. She can't eat right now, so she has a feeding tube. But like things are turning around for her. Like, you know, her her brain was bleeding. Is no longer bleeding. Like, and yesterday I was like, "Ma, look at me," and she turned her head to look at me. Like, she is so determined, and I thank God for that. She is such a fighter, and they come from a praying family who, listen, those prayers that my grandma prayed for them when they were younger is still within them, baby. Still within them, and I thank God for it. Like, everything is turning around for my mama, and I am so elated to experience this with her, and I'm so elated to have a testimony, as well as my mama to have a testimony to share with people, because baby, having faith is real. God is real. God is love, and the unconditional love that he gives to us all is never failing. And like, when I tell you he be moving in that place and in that space and in that room with her, I just be like, wow, Mom. And I always tell her I love her. I go up there, I spend nights with her, I groom her. Today we did spa Saturday, and I gave her a facial, a sugar scrub. I clipped her nails. I bought some stuff for her hair, so I'm gonna do her hair when I go see her tonight. Oh, and then back to my job. So at a point you could tell like they start to be like, okay, we don't care what you got going on, when are you coming back to work? I was like, I'm not coming back to work until my mom is out of the hospital, point blank, period. Like, I've told you that several times. She was still wanting me to get in contact with my clients, and I'm like, no. I'm like, lady, I'm crying every day. I'm not even there to be having a conversation, hearing somebody else's problems. And I don't mean to sound rude, but like, I had a lot of stuff going on, and like, that's not my focus. And I'm like, I've seen you as a supervisor reach out to other people's clients. Why are you making it tough for me? By the way, I was a case manager. And then, you know, I had asked about FMLA. They like, oh, you can't get that right now because you have to be with the company for a year. And so I pretty much told them, like, you know, I feel like it needs to be something set in place with these corporations. When somebody gets hired on, they need to already have some type of security for them, because life be lifing and anything can happen. And then they were like, oh, well, you can be put on unpaid you can be put on unpaid leave. And I'm like, that's not gonna do nothing for me, because baby, bills don't stop. My supervisor, she was reaching out to me and, you know, checking in, but I feel like she wasn't checking in. Well, at first I feel like she was checking in to be genuine, but no, the bitch was checking in to see when I was coming back to work. And Lord, please excuse my French, because they really try to play with me. But it's fine, it's fine. So she made it seem like everything was cool. I ended up getting a random phone call from this number. Didn't know who it was. I answered the phone. It's her supervisor. So she didn't have supervision with her supervisor. Her supervisor calls me asking me the same thing, like, oh, when do you plan on coming back to work? And I said, I'm not until my mom's at the hospital, period. I'm like, you know, y'all know what's going on. Like, it's not like y'all oblivious about what's going on. And so they were just like, they were gonna move towards termination. So that was that. But you know, I wasn't mad because I was like, in 2021 I had prayed to God and I said, you know what, in 2022 I'm going to fire my job and I'm going to work full-time for myself, being a social media influencer and having my own cosmetics line, while also being a makeup artist. And it's crazy how, but I was not satisfied with the job. The pay was not great at all, and then your salary at that, and you still not getting a good check. And I end up having to pick up a whole nother job as well. And I'm like, no, I'm not in the business of working hard. I'm in the business of working smarter. The days of me like going and bending backwards over for these jobs is over with. We no longer doing that shit. And so that happened, and you know, they fired me during a time where they knew that my mom is in the hospital getting over COVID. They didn't give a fuck. I mean, I've always knew the jobs did not care about us, but it's like, damn, it's really apparent that y'all don't care. As long as we can do for y'all, that's all that matters. But when we ask for y'all to do for us, it's crickets, or it's not in the budget. So it is what it is. I feel like this is the season. I'm not gonna say if I feel like it is the season of restoration. So anything that the enemy has tried to take from you, trust and believe you are getting it back tenfold. Everything that he tried to steal from you, it's a lie. It's a lie, because you getting that back plus some. This is the year of abundance. So it's only gonna make you stronger. It's gonna build character. And what I will say is, be prepared for what you pray for, because it's not gonna come how you thought it was. It's not. And the way all that played out, I didn't expect it to come like that. But let me tell you something. Immediately once they fired me and I got off that phone, I started ordering stuff for my brand immediately, because I'm like, I'm not about to sit around. I was like, God, I keep telling you, like, this is what I want. It's time for me to put forth the effort to do what I said that I want to do. So, you know, I'm here now. And it's crazy because this look that I did today, is actually the eyeshadow from my palette that I'm testing out for you guys. So it's gonna be a whole nother video, but that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is to give a life, the point of this video is to give a life update about just where I've been, what's been going on. But know that my mom is good and she's healed, and she is going to, her testimony is going to, it's breathtaking. It's really breathtaking. And I love my mama so much. I love her so much. And then following that, I am going to be introducing a new series. I don't know if I'm going to introduce it here or just on TikTok or both. Y'all let me know. It's going to be posted every Sunday. It's going to be called Soul Filled Sundays, where you just share your testimony. Maybe it's the testimony for the whole week, and then you do it on a Sunday, or maybe it's just a testimony of that day and you want to share it. And if you guys have topics, make sure y'all leave them in the comment section below. Follow me on Instagram, because I'm actually gonna do like a poll type of thing, so that you can actually like put in like things that you might want to have a topic on, and then we go from there. I want everybody to use the hashtag SoulFillSunday, and I want y'all to leave what your testimony is for the day or for the week, however you want to do it. This is a safe place and a safe space, and like I said, I don't believe in that, oh, don't be crying on camera. Yeah, you leave that somewhere else. I believe in healthy emotional tactics and techniques. So if you need to cry, let it out, release that emotion, because I'm here to offer you emotional support. I promise you, we do not judge over here. So let me know if y'all want me to bring it to YouTube or just leave that on TikTok, and then I'll leave my TikTok information below as well. I don't have much else to tell y'all as far as, you know, my update. And shout out to our village for just praying with us, praying over us, and just being there for us through anything we need. I truly, truly, truly love y'all. I want to say that I'm back and I'm better, because it's time to build generational wealth. And if nobody told you, and it's been on your heart to do something fulfilling, and that job that you at ain't making you happy, step out on faith. Step out on faith and just do it. I know sometimes it's hard to step out on faith because you feel like, oh, I still got bills, I still got this. Let me tell you something. It's going to work itself out when you least expect it. God's timing is always perfect. So don't worry about it. Stop staying in places and spaces where you are unhappy. You're going to stay stagnant. You're not going to be able to grow. Set yourself free from that bondage, baby. Set yourself free from that bondage. Let go. Release yourself from that burden. Because if it's weighing you down, it's a liability and not an asset. So do what makes you happy. Forget what anybody else say. And again, just let me know what I should do with that segment. And again, I'm done talking for today, but do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all in my next video. Make sure to stay healthy, stay safe, wear your mask, vaccinated or not. Stay away from reckless ass people. If you see people out just doing the most, stay away from them, and they need to stay away from you. And anybody out here passing COVID around as if it's just a Tic Tac or a piece of gum that we got when we was in 5th grade, shame on you. Anyway, y'all, I'm done, and y'all have a good night, and I will see y'all in the next video.